All right, guys. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. This was a nice one. This was a nice present to get on the day of. I I don't know how it happened. It doesn't make a lot of sense when you take a look at the season that both these teams have had going into this game, but when we needed it, when we needed a game to solidify that top 5 pick, we got it, and it was over midway through the second quarter. It was over within an hour of kickoff. It became clear what kind of game we were getting. So, just finished live streaming the whole game. I want to thank everybody who showed up. By the end of that stream, we had about 300 people in there on Christmas for a game that wasn't even the Seahawks. So, that was awesome. We got better attendance than the Seahawks Chiefs stream did for pretty obvious reasons, right? This game just went a lot better for us. But there was a lot of support on the stream. There was a lot of engagement on the stream. We were having a ton of fun. So it was awesome today. Today was awesome. I want to thank everybody who came out and celebrated this massive, massive result for the Seahawks. And we're all feeling a little bit better. And well, let me tell you, we needed it because this morning, we didn't get off to a good start. We needed Miami to win that game in the worst way. They blow a 10-point lead. Suddenly, Green Bay looks like they're in pretty good control. Suddenly, Green Bay looks like they might take the last playoff spot over Seattle. Suddenly, Miami looks like they're not going to threaten the Chargers' 6th seed, so therefore we're going to have to deal with the Chargers playing their backups in Week 18. And it's just like, oh, come on. Why is this happening now? Why can't Tua just look like a competent quarterback for a few minutes there at the end of the game? Just bad, bad, bad. But this made up for it, guys. This made up for it. Not only did the Rams win, in a way that was so definitive and obvious that we had nothing to worry about after midway through the second quarter, but this Broncos team looks like they have finally given up. I saw a team today that has no interest in playing hard for Hackett, no interest in playing hard for Wilson, no interest in playing hard for George Patton or whoever else. Like, this is a team that has quit. You gave up 50 points to a team quarterbacked by Baker Mayfield, running most of their backup offensive linemen and backup receivers and backup running backs, and a guy they desperately tried to give away earlier this season runs for over 100 on you easily. You're missing tackles on every play. Your offense is just going through the motions. Wilson has one of the worst games of his career. It's just definitively over. And it is very clear to me that this team has quit. And I don't know what's going to happen to Hackett. Honestly, he should probably be fired tomorrow. But if they just decide to throw up their hands and wait and play out the rest of the year with him, I don't see any way they win another game. And that's huge because they might get to play the Chargers backups in Week 18. And the way they played today, the way they showed no heart, no effort today, they would lose to the Chargers backups. They would get killed by the Chargers backups, honestly. I think they would get killed by any NFL team because they've quit. So we'll learn more about Hackett tomorrow. If he doesn't get fired tomorrow, then they're never going to fire him midseason for any reason. They're just going to let it ride out no matter what. But I've seen this kind of stuff before. You give up 50 points to this terrible Rams team, you are just going through the motions as an NFL franchise. And I've seen it before. I remember seeing it with the Cowboys, with Wade Phillips, where they just decided they weren't going to bother showing up beyond the bare minimum that it took to collect their $1 million paychecks. So that's happening here in Denver. So we've got 2 games left. As of right now, Seattle holds the number 3 pick. I don't see any way Denver winning. I don't see any way that Denver wins another game this year. That's the bottom line here because they've quit. So that guarantees us more or less at this point the number 3 pick because of the strength of schedule advantage Denver has on the Cardinals. They're the only the Cardinals are the only team that could sneak up ahead of them because of the tiebreaker. Right now the Cardinals tiebreaker is just a little bit better. If the Bears win one more game, we can creep up above them. And if the Texans win out, and the Texans are playing good football lately, we could even be talking about the number 1 pick. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. Honestly, I don't think the Bears are going to win a game this year. I think the Bears are going to lose out. But if you're talking about the number 3 pick and you're picking behind a team that apparently loves Bryce Young and another team that could do literally anything, I'm loving my situation. Also, because of this game, because of the Rams winning this game, even if the Broncos win one more game, even if they beat the Chargers in Week 18 because the Chargers are playing all their backups, we are talking about maybe dropping down to like pick number 5, maybe even 4. It's not going to be that bad. It's going to be a little bad. You're probably going to miss out on a couple guys you may have wanted. But honestly, you're still talking about a top 5 pick when I was expecting the pick to not even be in the top 20. So this result is massive. Not only does it clear the Broncos pick up to number 3, solidify it right now, it also clears the Rams pick out, and now you don't really have to worry about the Rams possibly picking above the Denver Broncos. So, like I said, 2 games left. At this point, if the Broncos decide to ride it out with Nathaniel Hackett, I can't imagine them beating anybody. I think they would lose to Houston. I think they would lose to Chicago. I think they would lose to the Falcons. I think they would lose to the Jeff Saturday Colts. Anybody. So I'm not really worried about the Denver Broncos winning a game for the rest of this year. But even if they do, it's not the end of the world anymore. This was the game we really needed them to lose. If they want to mess around and beat the Chargers in week 18 and go 5-12, we're still probably getting a top 5 pick because of the way things are going to work out with these other teams. The Cardinals and Falcons still have to play each other. So one of those teams has to get a win. Assuming that 5-12 is something that would still probably get us a top 5 pick. So what a nice Christmas present. After yesterday went really well for the Seahawks despite the Chiefs loss. And then the day today, the morning game, kind of turned into a train wreck for us. I'd call it a disaster. I don't think it's unfair to call it a bit of a disaster. You get this result right here. And not only does it make you feel great in the short term, but it also makes you feel great long term. This Denver team has given up. They have no interest in playing hard for this crew. Hackett, Wilson, Patton, Evero even. I mean, the defense today, not even giving effort. The levee has broken. And as long as Hackett remains head coach over there, which I do think they'll give him the rest of the season, even though they shouldn't, I don't see how they get that back. So good vibes, guys. Good vibes. The Packers winning this morning was a little bit devastating. That was really unfortunate. But you know what? Not everything is going to go your way. And right now we're getting enough things going our way. I don't know if Wilson plays again this year, honestly. The only reason why he would be if Hackett decides he doesn't care anymore because he knows he's going to get fired. I don't know what's going to happen with Hackett's job tomorrow, like I said. I don't know about any of that stuff. But if they decide to ride it out with Hackett and Wilson, how do they win another game? They can't score. Their defense is given up. Wilson is playing like he's on edibles. Like, everything's just turning up beautifully. And given the fact that I think a lot of Seahawks fans were going into this game just assuming Denver was going to win, I think we're in a pretty good spot right now, guys. So thank you, everybody who showed up to the stream today. Had to go on for a little bit on that one because this was huge. Hello, Jalen Carter. Hello, Will Anderson. Hello, CJ Stroud. Hello, whoever you like. It's going to be nice. It's going to be juicy. Go Cardinals tonight. See you guys later on Twitch. Go Hawks.